Hello, you're watching News Mongolia and MNB World. I'm your host, Ayun Deltir Basanho. Our top stories. Mongolia to expand its tourism sector cooperation with Bulgaria. Launch of Team Europe Investments in Mongolia event was held on Wednesday. For other news, stay tuned. The European Union, the European Investment Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development have officially launched 4 new investment projects in Mongolia on March 1st. The event was attended by Minister of Finance Jakhlang, Director for Asia, Middle East and the Pacific at the Directorate for International Partnerships of the European Commission, Mr. John Lovell, the EU Ambassador to Mongolia, Her Excellency Ms. Akselnikas, and other officials.
Team Europe was initially conceived of as a way to brand the European Union in response to COVID-19, and it was one of the biggest donors to the COVAX facility, in which Mongolia has received more than 130,000 COVID-19 vaccines. Purpose of this event was to officially launch 4 new investment projects that the European Union has signed with the European Investment Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, as well as to present the new European Union Global Gateway Strategy, the new European Fund for Sustainable Development Plus instrument, and the European Union Global Green Bonds Initiative. Team Europe consists of the European Union, the EU member states, including their implementing agencies and public development banks, as well as the European Investment Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Team Europe has developed an initiative for Mongolia on sustainable natural resource management and value chain development, which is looking to contribute towards Mongolia's green transition.
European Union Global Gateway.
Today we were launching a number of investment, finance and projects to support the development of Mongolia towards the green economy, climate change, and it's also a way to show how we work better together in what we call the Team Europe initiative, which is basically the collusion of the effort from the European Union, its member states and development agencies, and also the 2 European Investment Development Bank, the EBRD and the EIB. So we were presenting the projects that we are having now. We have 6 projects. We tackle a lot on the green development. We have a project on improving the central heating in Ulaanbaatar, another one to alleviate the risk of floods in Erdenet, the second city. We also working on sustainable development. We are focused on our intervention, but we also focus on the topics we want to raise and develop a policy dialogue with the government. Thank you very much.
The EBRD and the EU are helping Mongolia's largest municipality create a reliable and ecologically friendly district heating system in the context of a Green City Action Plan. A sovereign loan of $10 million by the bank and grants worth 4.8 million euros by the European Union provided to the Ulaanbaatar District Heating Company are facilitating the rehabilitation of the existing networks and expand new district heating mains to areas not yet covered.
I think the launch event today gives a clear signal that Mongolia is not alone, that there is a Team Europe initiative which provides financing in a variety of issues to help to create wealth in Mongolia and to support infrastructure development, but also private sector development. So we are very grateful that we have a good support by the Mongolian government and the authorities, because that provides the commitment we require to implement together with the European Union and the European partners projects which really have an impact here. On the side of the EBRD, as you may have heard, we are the largest private sector investor here, having invested $2.2 billion, whereof more than 90% went to the private sector. So what we see is to help rural development, it's very important to support SMEs. And on one hand, we have a joint program with the European Union on SME support services, and at the same time, we have specific financing tools at hand, starting from women in business to micro-enterprise support through our partner banks, Hanbank and Haasbank, but also through the micro-enterprise outreach via TransCapital and Vision Fund. So we hope that we can create more jobs, also in the rural areas, which really will help to increase their livelihood on the countryside as well.
Today in this historic
The projects are targeted at achieving sustainable growth and reducing poverty. Team Europe has provided a total of 60 million euros in grant financing from the European Union, and this has leveraged investment of approximately 370 million euros to partner banks. The multi-annual program will run until 2027 and is committed to having at least 30% of its activities focus on climate change.
For the first time, Mongolia took part in the international tourism exhibition Holiday and Spa held in Bulgaria. During the 2 days of the exhibition, Mongolian Pavilion hosted around 11,000 visitors.
The Mongolian embassy in Bulgaria took the initiative and hosted a Mongolian pavilion to promote our national culture, traditions, and products of tourism and the hospitality sector. In addition, promotion contents created within the frame of the Virtual Mongolia project were on display to the visitors of the expo. With the support of the virtual environment and the artificial intelligence technology, visitors were able to get acquainted with the beautiful nature of all 21 provinces of Mongolia and to see the local sightseeing spots. The 38th edition of the International Tourism Exhibition Holiday and Spa was held on 24th and 25th of February at the Interexpo Center in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. The International Tourism Exhibition Holiday and Spa is considered as one of the major events of the tourism and hospitality sector in the Balkan region. By taking part at this expo, the Embassy of Mongolia in Bulgaria had the opportunity to promote Mongolia and to provide information about the country's development to foreign visitors.
I would like to congratulate the Embassy of Mongolia for their successful participation in the Tourism Expo. In the future, we plan to expand mutual relations in all fields, including tourism and the hospitality sector. The Asian continent is considered as one of the promising markets that has a lot of potential. Nowadays, people are really interested in traveling. Bulgaria will be happy to host visitors and tourists from Mongolia. And I'm sure Bulgarians will also be interested in visiting Mongolia for tourism purposes.
During the expo event, the Mongolian and Bulgarian sides exchanged views on the implementation of joint tourism projects that will increase the flow of tourists between both countries. During the event, 30 companies from Bulgaria expressed an interest in cooperating with Mongolian tour operators.
The Ministry of Health today reported that 255 new COVID-19 cases were detected after tests were carried out at PCR laboratories across the country. One person died of COVID-19 complications in the past 24 hours. No imported cases were recorded. Let's now take a look at current affairs.
The play, written in 1769 by Alexander Doe, was translated by Dr. Saratlirta Migmar. The Royal Drury Lane Theatre has been a site for entertainment since 1669 and is the world's oldest theatre site in continuous use. The play Chinggis Khan was written and performed in London at the Royal Drury Lane Theatre. The script has been translated into Mongolian and published as a book. The book opening ceremony was held on Tuesday at the American Cultural Information Center at the Nazi-Deutsch Library. The play is a 5-act play based on real characters and some historical facts. Doe was a Scottish Orientalist and army officer who learned Persian while in the army. Doe read a Persian book on Mongolian history and learned about Chinggis Khan's feats and admired him as the best emperor in history. With the desire to share the story with other Londoners, the play was staged in the theatre. It took Dr. Saratlirta Migmar 2 years to translate the book. He said that it was challenging for him to translate the English language used in the 18th century, which is quite different from modern-day English. And as the script was written in a poetry style, he had to keep the writing's poetic forms and nuances. The play was the first play on Mongolia ever performed in the Western world.
Now let's look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for staying with us on News Mongolia. See you tomorrow with more stories and updates. Have a great evening. Goodbye.